Something really substantial happened yesterday. But if you was to listen to the news or watch TV, it's been talked about, but it's not really been talked about. Does that make sense? It's sort of like a headline. This is what he said, and then they'd have someone come in quickly to talk about it, and then it's all forgotten. And that's what it feels like. It's like it's now old news, even though the news is so relevant to what's happening today in reference to us leaving the EU and negotiations and the Remain camp and the Ramonas and the Leavers. It's so relevant. You see, people like myself, Brexiteers, have always said that they were looking to go federal. That was the whole point of the European Union. They started off with the EEC, the European Economic Community, but it was only there to get countries involved in it via trade, but it was always going to be the European Union. But they were very, very secretive about it. And then when someone like myself or another Brexiteer or someone who's got a bit more savvy tells people that that's the way the EU's going, you normally get the whole, well, there may be one person who would want it, but it would never happen, and that's not the way that the EU was ever brought in, and all this sort of stuff, which is total bollocks. But what happened yesterday was the EU telling the world, this is true, we are going to go federal, and I want your governments to be a seat inside the European Union and not have any governments inside the countries. That's the way it's going. So they want their army, they want their own police, they want their own judicial system, speak properly. They want their own bank, own single currency, a federal union, European Union. Now, if you don't understand why that's scary, then you need to really read up a bit more, because I'm not going to go into that much detail in this video. But the most important thing is that for the first time since I can remember, the EU have actually been truthful to where they want to be. And it's given a massive kick up the arse to a lot of Remainers, and even some Ramonas like Vince Cable, who's basically called Juncker an extremist, which I find funny, because he's not so much an extremist, he's always wanted a federal Europe. Vince is supposed to be an intelligent man, Vince Cable, and how he didn't think that Europe was going to go this way, the EU was going to go this way, is beyond any sort of belief. But what the Ramonas and the Remainers are starting to realise is that the stuff that we've been telling them all this time is actually factual. And I've been seeing it a lot on Twitter, where Remainers and Ramonas, not all of them, granted, but Remainers and Ramonas are saying things like, if there was ever going to be another EU referendum, I would vote to leave. I've had enough. I can't abide by this. If there was another EU referendum, I will vote to leave. I did vote Remain, but I now know that I made a mistake and I should have voted leave. This is a quote. I'm very glad that other people that had more sense voted to leave. That's where we are right now. The tide's turning. The Remainers and Ramonas are starting to realise that us, 17.4 million, you know, the people that are stupid, uneducated, the people, the old people, the young people that were traitors because they voted to leave the European Union. Actually, what we've been saying is true, And then when I said in my past videos that you should be glad that people like me have decided to leave the EU and we've done you a favour, that actually is completely factual. And I can only hope, and truly hope, that now this will make politicians that wanted to stay inside the EU think twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times before voting anything out of us leaving the EU. But more important to me, something that's more to my heart, is the people of Britain starting to wake up and realise that the bullshit you've been fed by the media in reference to this lovely, lovely EU, and they're only there to help you and protect your rights and all this sort of shit, that you're now actually starting to realise that it's only a game plan to get what they want, which is a federal Europe. You lose your nationality, you lose your government, you lose your right to vote for something substantial, which is the person, the party that you want, whether you're a Green supporter, whether you're a Labour supporter, whether you're a Conservative supporter. And understand that if they do go federal and we always were still in there, then you won't be voting for shit. Nothing. And that, even though I know that our, how can I put this? Our politicians are not the greatest, no matter what party you're talking about. Wouldn't you rather have the choice to vote parties in and out rather than not having a vote at all? Today even though I'm stuck in traffic and it's now 7:24 at night, and I'm also having my bathroom done, which means I don't have a bath and I've got to get home and have a wash. Even though that's all happening, I am happier. But I'm more happy in the fact that people are starting to wake up and starting to realise that we are better together, as in Britain, whether you're from Scotland, Wales, Ireland, England, doesn't matter, and realise that we are a very powerful country, a very rich country, and the EU needs us more than we need the EU. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you in my next video. Take care.